It's true. I made a little over $11,000 this month with less than 18 trades, 17 to be exact. And anybody can do this. And when I say anybody can do this, I truly mean it. I'm going to put some clips up on the screen right now of all of these trades you're going to see me show you. 500 plus people took them with me. So there is everyone in between from beginner to expert watching me take these trades live, and I keep a massive log of this to prove to you that you can be profitable in trading. A lot of these online influencers that you may have been exposed to before or bought their courses have probably tainted your idea of trading and what's actually possible. So I'm here to bring your expectations down to a realistic measure of what you can actually obtain every month. And a lot of my traders and mentees that I'm working with obtain these results every month, and sometimes a lot more than me as well. I'm very conservative with my approach, but I want to make money. I don't want to give it away. So in this video, we're gonna go through every single trade I took in March. You can see the plethora of tabs up here. There's about 17 of them. We're gonna go through all the trades, and I won't bore you, so it won't take a while. I mean, to be fair, I should be able to explain the trades in less than a minute to the point where you can digest what happened and the mistake that I'm going to learn from it, and hopefully you can learn from it as well, so we both don't make the mistake in the future. Now, I'm gonna decrease the size of this cam. Again, no heavy edits today. This is going to be strict, straight to the point, raw value that you desperately need. Most of you are watching videos with flashy edits, back and forth, cool transitions, and you're getting hooked by that, but the information they're giving you is quite literally absolute dog shit, and that's what's making you a bad trader. So in this video, you're going to get to see the pure realistic expectation you should have as a trader who trades 1 to 2 times a day max. Now, let's go through the data points that you need to understand in my previous month. So year to date, January to March, I'm sitting at about a 36 to 38 reward collected. For those that don't understand what that means, I'm going to reference this a lot today. 1R, minus 1R, plus 1R, plus 2R. What does that mean? 1R is one risk. One risk is defined by 2% of total portfolio value. So per trade, I am risking 2% of my total portfolio on the line. If I lose the trade, I lose 2% of my portfolio. If I win the trade, depending on what I win, if it's 1R, I make 2% of the portfolio back. So 1-to-1 risk. Now, this month I made 14.6. So if you just take 14.6 and multiply it by 2, you will see I'm nearly a 30% gross appreciation. Now, when people hear that I made 30% gross appreciation a single month, they are typically, rolling their eyes. They're like, yeah, okay, dude, not possible to do that. But when I start to tell them that I did it in February, and then again in January, and then again in December, November, October, September, and I have all the statistics. Also, let's put a video on the screen here of 500 plus people watching me do this in real time. So I can't lie to you anything about what's happening here today, or I will get absolutely pitchforked in the comments by the 300 plus that are watching me every day. And by the way, I am number 1 on WAP for live streams. This isn't something that I can just lie publicly about and try to sell you some course. I'm not here to sell you anything. I am here to show you the realistic expectations you need to hold to yourself. So I'm not doubling my portfolio every month. I'm not making $500,000. And sure, there are some traders that do that, but that's not realistic for me. I'm not willing to risk that much money to make that much capital, but it is certainly a possibility as long as you scale. So let's get right into it. March, 76% win rate. Great. The previous month was 87, so decrease a little bit. 14.6R. We have a higher reward collection, so I made more money this month than last month, even though my win rate was lower. 17 total trades, 13 wins, 4 losses. Now, this data sheet looks really cool, and I need a lot of you to understand that you can audit everything on here. So the first link in comments will be this guide. You can click it. It's public. You can see every trade I make from here until perpetually forever until I stop using this. It has all of the data on the models I use. I'm not going to talk to you about my models until we go through the videos, until we go through some of the snapshots of TradingView, but you can see my daily stats, weekly stats, monthly stats. Like, this is it. I am laying out everything online. I'm extremely vulnerable when I'm showing you this information, because this is how you gain trust with people. This is how you show people what realistically can happen. And this is realistically what can happen. There is, nothing else more transparent than an exact trade log. I mean, people can show you, I got a payout from Top Step for, 10 grand, but what they don't show you is that they paid 15,000 in combine fees to get there, which is extremely misleading. This, I can't mislead you at all. This is why I prefer to do it this way, is to show you this is exactly what you can obtain. First trade we're going to go through, this is on March 3rd to start the month. This is a ILM model. If you guys want to learn more about my models, I'll have a link in the description below the journal link that shows you the top 3 models I use. There's only mainly 2 to be fair, Orb and ILM. ILM is a reversal where I like to trade, and I'm just going to do this, where I like to trade a reversal off of time-based liquidity. So this was probably London highs. I don't have it marked here. And then you find some sort of entry model, which in this case is an inversion. And then I take it all the way into the equal lows here. This trade I made what looks like 2.8 R. So I risked about, let's round up to make number simplicity, very simple. I risked $1,000 and made 2,800. So that's exactly what's happening here when you see 2.8. Now, the day after this, I ended up taking a loss. So this was an ES long with 1R risk. My goal was to take profit at the equal highs. So pretty much the opposite of the trade we took the day before. So this ended up in a loss position. We got stopped out at 5,744. This should have been a winning position. I know I don't have the rest of the chart played out here, but price eventually just went like this all the way to our TP. This day was a little bit different. Micro minis did not actually sweep the low. So if you were trading NQ instead of MNQ, you actually won the trade. I was trading MNQ, which is just a smaller derivative of NQ, where I can trade micro contracts, where it's a 10 deviation to 1 of size. So I got stopped when it should have been a winning trade. Boo-hoo. There's nothing you can do about that. Next trade we took, so that was -1, or that's a -$1,000, right? Gold futures. This is an ILM setup, so you can see here this is gold. I got a sweep of an internal high, which I assume was probably pre-market highs. Then I got an inversion, take entry, stop loss at the high, target the sell side liquidity. Bada bing, bada boom. We got out with a very clean profit. This was 2R profit. So I risked $1,000, made 2,000. Very clean, and you're in and out. March 10th, this was a trimmed position, so I did not get my full TP here. Same idea. We were delivering from a high time fair value gap, which you can see here. I didn't extend it. We deliver from it. We also have an inversion right here. After we got the inversion, I said, hey, I'm going to place my stops at this low. If price comes here, there's a good likelihood it comes all the way down here, which means I'm not going to risk all of the extra points in this range. I'm just going to risk to this low. And guess what? Took entry. As you can see, price comes all the way up. We end up taking our first points of take profit. So this is a lower collected trade. We'll go to March 10th. 0.2R, so not much profit at all collected, but nonetheless profit eventually. And the reason is because it came back to entry, so I ended up selling the rest of the position for break even. This trade on March 13th, we are looking at a -1.1, so I took a loss here, which sucks because you're probably like, it looks like you were about to profit. I was. We took out previous daily low. I found an inversion here. I took entry. I wanted it to go all the way up here to the... Here's the arrow all the way up here to this line, which is these 2 equal highs and the orb 15-minute. I didn't get it, which sucks. So I ended up holding the position because I assumed we were going to come back, retest entry, and then come to internal liquidity. I was wrong, and I got stopped out for a loss. A little bit of a larger loss, too, 1.1. So I lost $1,100 there. Now, the next day, I took another loss. So 2 back-to-back days on losses. Most people will get discouraged here, but I have so much data to support that I'm profitable long-term using these models that it didn't matter to me. So this was an ILM model where we had data come out, swept these lows, then we had an inversion, and I wanted to target all of these highs up here. So Asia high, London high, and then what happened was I took entry, we failed to break over this M5 gap, and we weren't able to move anywhere, and I ended up getting stopped. So this was a -1R. So 2 days in a row, March 13th, March 14th, I lost $2,000. Now, March 14th is fun because I think this is the 2 trade day. Yeah, March 14th, first trade NASDAQ, where we took a beautiful, I believe that this was a orb long. Let's see. Yes, this is orb long for the day after on the 14th. So all orb long is we simply just waited for a closure outside of the daily open range, or sorry, the New York session 15-minute range, which is right here, M5 close. I put stops below the soft stops, and then we came into London highs, and then we waited for Asia highs. Clean. We made 1.3 off this, so almost half the loss made back from the previous 2 days in one trade. And that's the power of trading, is you don't need to win every day. I just need to be consistent over a long period. Now, this is a winning trade from the 17th, which is a 1.7R reward short. ILM again, right? We deliver from a high time frame gap, which is right here. Excuse me. deliver from this gap here, which means I want to go short. So if we're not sweeping any of these levels, right, we're not displacing this level, we're in a bearish gap, I want to go short, which means I have to look for something to tell me to go short. What it was is this gap got inverted. I took entry immediately, and I just waited for this order block fair value gap to run, and then we ended up coming to the lows. I don't have the screenshot where it came all the way to the lows, but good trade nonetheless. March 17th for a plus 1.7R. Next up, this was a very long trade on March 20th, which was a gold trade. It was an orb trade. It took me 4 hours to make a half-hour profit. Sometimes that's what happens with commodities. Trade the same day. So this is a 2-trade day. I took a NASDAQ short, which immediately went to TP. I was able to make, I think, 1R off of this. Almost 1R, so 0.8. So a good day nonetheless. And 3 days after I took those 2 back-to-back losses, I've already made back the losses and then some. So that's the power of just having a very consistent model. March 21st, great day because we made, I think, 2R. Yeah, 2.1R. Insane ILM from the lows. This is as picture perfect as it gets. You come to a previous daily low, you have your orb, you have your I think this is M3 gap, boom, take entry immediately here, and all we do is look to take into previous Asia highs and then eventually into the M15 EMA and then the buy side liquidity up here, which evidently ended up happening. So 2.1 are collected there. Now we're highly profitable after coming off that 2 losing streak. Here's a double trade day again. Gold, now coincidentally, right, I said gold took me 4 hours last time for profit to come through. This day, gold took me like, I think 10 minutes, 5, 10, 15 minutes. So this is an orb. All we did is wait to short the early 15-minute range. You can see the data up here as well. Great trade. We had like 400 people doing this trade with us. And then NQ, again, NQ took a full profit. Let's see what it was on this day. Yeah, we took 0.7 and then 1R. So these were 2 half risk trades. Nonetheless, like, I mean, I'm risking half and still collecting all of what my back-to-back days of losses were. So amazing results there. Now we look for March 24th. Let me clean up all these light shots real quick. March 24th, another clean orb. And orb was the winner for March, undoubtedly. Orb had one of the highest win rates in the last 30 days that I have personally seen in a very long time. So I'm happy that we got it because it's one of the most mechanical models. Orb, wait for the closure outside the range, and then we want to take profit into sell half here at 1.5, and then we took another at 2.5, and I think we got like 1.8 off this. What is this, 25th? 1.6. Yeah, 1.6 off this. Nice. Oh, wait, no, this is 24th. 1R off this. Okay, so we must have half risked this day. Nonetheless, great profit again. This is March 25th. NQ Orb longs. This was, again, fantastic. Not much to say. We came off of taking Asia highs, displaced from them, and then we ended up dragging down for New York session, which is fine. And we waited 15 minutes for the session to close its range. As soon as an M5 closes above right here, we take entry, stops here, and just take it all out of buy side liquidity. And bada bing, bada boom, we had a nice healthy profit for what looks like 1.6R. Now 26th of March, an unfortunate trade, but it was so clean. And I had 400 people watching me take this trade here. Great trade. We had the nice bounce outside of it. We had the nice move to the upside, and then eventually we just had a full retracement. So I took a loss on this, minus $1,000. Actually, we adjusted our stops. Our stops were a little bit lower here. We adjusted them, so max risk actually ended up being minus 0.6. So we saved ourselves a little bit of money. Sad day because the setup was perfect, and sometimes a perfect setup can make you a little bit upset. Now, this is the last trade I took of the month, March 27th. Fun live stream. This was huge orb to the upside. Waited for an M5 close here. Boom. We had fair value gap that we put our stops below because we said if stops come below this, high chance is that price is going to fall to low. So never did, never closed. And then we ran all the way to these highs here, full TP. And this pulled us home, I think, one of our larger profits. Yeah, so 2R there. And that's all the trades for the month. And that should show you that you can be highly, highly profitable without trading that much. I trade 17 times. That's it. That's less than 1 trade a day. And that's all you need. So I hope you guys have learned a little bit from this. We can go through and look at September, October, November, December, January, February. We have all the months. So I'm going to let you guys go and audit all that. But that is how I made a little over $11,000 with a 70% win rate in the month of March. If you guys want to watch me trade live and do this in front of you, You can go to whop.com and go to live streams because I'll be number one on there, or just click the link down below and you can join immediately. Most of the time, these aren't free to join, so there's a premium behind them, but I use these videos as a way to help build trust with you guys, to show you that I can guarantee this will be the last place you ever find trading education, and I can change the trajectory of your trading career from here. I've done it with hundreds and hundreds of people, and I'll put some of the testimonials on the screen right now as I'm scrolling through our Discord testimonials. But nonetheless, have a great day. Hope you learned something, and hope I've built your confidence for the next month moving forward if you did end up having a bad March. Peace.